Right, for a deeper look at the president's discussions when it comes to the war in Ukraine, I'd like to bring in Ian Kelly, who has dedicated much of his career to roles in the U.S. State Department, currently serving right now as the ambassador in residence at Northwestern University. Ian, thank you so much for giving us some of your time. So first of all, how significant is it that our president says, in addition to talking with Russia's president, Vladimir Putin, that the pair will be meeting in person? How do you think that potentially changes the dynamics of everything that is happening right now when it comes to this war?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. Speaking of changing dynamics, I think a lot of dynamics have been changed, and these changes happened yesterday. The whole idea that Russia is committing war crimes in Ukraine and should be isolated from the international community of good actors. That was, of course, that era ended with the phone call to Putin and the agreement to sit down with him to discuss the affairs of a country that has been attacked by Putin. I think another change in the dynamic was what Secretary Hegseth said yesterday, that the U.S. would not support the membership of Ukraine into NATO and would not provide any kind of troops in a peacekeeping force.
Yeah, and I want to talk about that because, as you said, the defense secretary has said that U.S. troops will not protect Ukraine after the war. As we've been saying, the president right now speaking in the Oval Office, he is saying that he trusts Putin on the Ukraine war. He believes that Putin wants peace. Do you think this is a hint at what is possibly in the works right now behind the scenes?
Well, I have to say I'm deeply concerned. I'm deeply concerned that we are preemptively and unilaterally granting concessions to Putin, saying that Ukraine cannot realistically expect to regain its territorial integrity, that it won't join NATO. I mean, these are the sort of concessions that should be made in a reciprocal negotiation with a very transactional power, Russia. Mm-hmm. So I am very, very disturbed that it seems that he's going to go into this getting two of the things that he wants. Mm-hmm. You know, one is no NATO membership, and the other is to be able to keep his ill-gotten gains and destruction of Ukrainian territory, tens of thousands of Ukrainian deaths, and this is a reward for him, and it is not a very well thought out approach to negotiating with one of the toughest negotiators in the world.
Well, Ian, my last question for you, and to really piggyback off of what you just said there, when he was a candidate, then candidate Trump said that he would end the war in Ukraine on day one of his new term. Obviously, we're now in week 4. That did not happen. But do you think any sort of cooperation between the U.S. and Russia to potentially end this war could come back to haunt us potentially in a different way?
Oh, absolutely. I think the only way I can see this is a North Korea, South Korea type situation, but that didn't lead to stability. It led to kind of low impact conflict for decades. If we give him what we say we're going to give him, it won't end the war. It won't bring peace.
Well, Ian Kelly, we certainly appreciate your expertise. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.